Okay, so apparently Zoom and YouTube don't like me today. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to record this and then I'll put it up as a premiere. That way, maybe I can chat with you guys while I'm showing what I'm doing. So, what I've got here is I have a pattern from at Beth Shibley Quilts, which is my sewing room. And she had found a Scottie dog quilt. She traced off the pattern pieces and used them to make a quilt. Well, I looked at it and I went, that's interesting. I like that. And it's a great scrappy quilt pattern. So I enlarged her pattern and printed it for myself. And here's my little pieces that I printed out. I have made a couple of blocks from this, and I'm doing mine differently than she did. Don't we all? This is my block. She actually turned hers under and hand appliqued everything down, which was super cute and adorable. And she used embroidery floss to sew hers down. I'm using a sewing machine. Remember, I don't hand sew. I can't. It's not something I'm good at. So I'm going to bring you guys over here to my sewing machine and show you how I did this. I have a couple of shorts up, but I thought, well, let me do this kind of real time so you can see how long this actually takes. So we're going to slide over here to the sewing machine, cover your eyes. I'm going to move the camera. So you can see what I'm sewing. And I've got my pattern right down here where I can see it. I have my quilt block. And then I have my pieces for my little Scottie dog. And the way I did this is I lay my pieces down on the fabric the way that the pattern shows them. And then I'm going to sew some of my pieces together. See if I can get you guys some more light here so you can see kind of what I'm doing. There we go. That's a little better. Blinds me, but you guys are important here. All right, so on the pattern, and I'm going to bring my pattern pieces over here and lay them out. This is how everything goes. And you'll see that there are some lines drawn on here. And what those lines are is sewing lines. Beth was super helpful when she drew this up. And so the first two pieces go together according to this sewing line. If you're going to turn it under and hand embroider it, then you want to leave a 1/4 inch down here where these two pieces meet so that you can turn that 1/4 inch under with your hand when you're sewing. I don't think I have thread in my machine. I don't, it came unthreaded. Well, since I'm recording this as a live, or instead of a live, which is a pain, I'm just going to show you what happens as I go. All right, so now that we've got it threaded, now let's sew this. It seems weird to me because I'm used to talking to you guys while I sew. So I'm sorry. And I'm going to finger press it back. The next piece that goes on here is the little foot. And the little foot goes right on that piece. So I'm going to line it up. And I'm going to sew it down. That's what happens when Zoom and YouTube want to fight. That's just not cool. So there's my foot. And I'm going to go ahead and press that back. Turn it around so I can see, and you can see what I've got so far. And then here's the headpiece. And the head gets put on here so that when you turn it over, that curve just goes straight across. So I'm going to start right down there at the bottom of the body piece, sew up, and turn it like this. Now, if you're going to do needle turn applique on this, you would want to take it over to your iron and iron down all those 1/4 inches. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to do needle turn. I'm actually doing raw edge applique. And so I'm just going to put my little Scottie dog on here. And I'm going to use a few pins to hold the pieces kind of where I want them. And Faith and Tracy and Laura Lynn, thank you so much for trying to come on my live to chat with me. I apologize that it didn't work out. Faith said she wasn't in a great mood today, or maybe she was discussing YouTube and Zoom. I'm not sure. And then what I'm doing here is I am just following the outline of my Scottie dog. This is going to make me take that pin out. I didn't pin it far enough over. And I'm just going to sew down the edge. I'm only going to make one on the live today. I've made 3 or 4 already. I like how they look. The only thing I'm doing different on this one than I did on the others is I'm making a slightly narrower seam along that edge. I like the look of frayed fabric, but I don't want it to fray so much as I wash this quilt that it turns into a mess later on down the road. And then all I'm doing is following the outline, sewing this all down. You can turn these 1/4 inch edges under if you like. Depends on how you feel about finished edges. I'm just trying to follow the line, the curves or straight lines, depending on what's in there. And you could do this with anything you wanted to do it with. I just thought the Scottie dog was really cute. And Beth made had a whole quilt of them. And I was just like, oh. As soon as I saw the Scottie dogs, I was like, yes, I've got to make this. And you may see different colors of thread. That's because I'm using a variegated thread on this. And I'm using that doggone it fabric that I had left over from my Christmas wallets and stuff. I had that layer cake of it. And I think that doggone it fabric is so cute. And then I'm going to bring back in this top piece here. And you could mark these lines on here if you wanted to. But this is the headpiece. And the only reason I'm putting it back on here is so that I have an idea of where my little eyes need to go. And I'm just going to stitch 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. The Juki has an auto cut feature, so I can go over there and stitch. And then I need 3 little lines, 1, 2, 3 for the eyes. Or for the eye, since it's only 1. And then I'm going to come over here At the top edge of for the ear, I'm going to sew 3 little lines across the end of it here. I didn't cut that thread, but that's okay. I'll cut it in a second. So there's my ear on there. And then the whiskers for the Scottie dog, one up from the corner, and then 2 on either side, kind of angled, but shorter. So I did 5 for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll go over on the other side at a little angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. And then at a little bit more of an angle, 2, 3. And there's my little Scottie dog all done. I'm going to snip his threads because, of course, I don't want them hanging out on there. I like frayed. I don't like threads hanging everywhere. Okay, and there's my little extra threads off of there. Now you could make these stitches longer if you like. And this is really an art quilt. So you could do this however it appeals to you. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. And when I cut, these came from scratch. You need a 6x6 for the body part of this, and basically a 5x5, a 6x6 for the solid part of this, and basically a 5x5 for the body part. Let me get my stuff straight. And they're a quick, easy little sew. Like I said, I just wanted to make a few of these blocks. I probably will make a total of 10 or 12. And some of my Scottie dogs are going to be turned so that they're facing the other direction. So instead of going up to this side, they'll go up to this side. They'll go up like this. You can just see the back of mine. I have got the body to go the other way. And here's my little headpiece that'll go right there. And my leg. And my tail. So I'll just turn some of these the other direction. I made a boo-boo when I was cutting my stuff. I wasn't thinking about if I did 2 layers that faced each other, they would turn different directions. But it's a happy accident because now I can use the ones that face the other way for alternate blocks. So I'm going to go through my scraps and put together some more of these. And then I'll show you guys the quilt in a couple of days when I have sashing on it and I'm getting ready to quilt it. All right. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. And again, I apologize the live didn't work, but maybe the premiere will work out better so I get to actually sit and chat with you guys. Have a great one.